Hello and welcome to Silverstone, home of British motor racing, and we are here for the very first weekend of British Motorsport in 2021. Boy, does it feel good to be back. We return here with the Britcar Endurance Competition. So many incredible cars and incredible drivers on the circuit here at Silverstone this weekend. We've got loads to come on the show. Before that though, let's meet some of our star drivers. Here's our driver of the week.
My name is Will Powell. I'm the driver of the number 11 Moorgate Finance McLaren GT3, run by us here at Motorsport. First proper race was Fiesta. I remember going straight into the back of somebody in the first corner and taking them off and being terrified the rest of the race, what they'd say to me afterwards. But as I had a novice cross on, I think they let me go, but I got a bollocking from the Clark anyway. The second one I think went a bit better from memory. I've been fortunate in recent seasons between the Brabham and the Ginetta and the McLaren to be out in some really nice dream machinery. Could never have dreamt to be having the opportunity to race it. That car's it's an animal. It should be really competitive and really up there. It looks fantastic as well. And of course the McLaren badge, when you've got it in front of you on the steering wheel, and it's evocative and a bit of a dream. So yeah, we can't wait for 2021. I think a learning year is how I would describe last year, going into 2021. Dave's expectation as our client is very clear, and that's that we're going for the championship. So the goals are clear, and that's to be contending for the endurance category championship when we get to the end of the season. Well, the best thing about racing the hypercars, the fast cars, but actually the best thing about racing almost anything is going door to door with somebody. That's what I love, that's why I'm here. I love that feeling of being door handle to door handle with somebody and racing hard. That's what it's all about for me. Hard and clean, obviously, ideally, no one likes to have contact, but that competitive edge, and that makes you feel alive, that brings out hopefully the best in everybody. Sometimes it goes right, sometimes it goes wrong, and sometimes you win the races as a result of it, but that's the thrill, that's the exciting bit, that race and that door-to-door, close quarters action, which you do get in Britcar. That's what we're here for.
Here we go then, it is almost time to go. The drivers gathering on the grid behind me. It's race number 1 of the Britcar Endurance Championship. 70 commentator, Dave Goddard.
First race of the Britcar season, about to get underway. The power comes on and away we go, down towards the first corner. Super start by Richard Wells in the white Praga. He's going to take the lead into the first corner. Let's hope they all make it round without any contacts. 144 Ferrari of Charlie Hollings running a bit wide there, but it's Richard Wells under fire from Abby Eaton as they go into. Oh, there's contact between the two leaders and Wells has spun. Round goes the race leader. Oh dear. I said I was hoping there'd be no contact. Already the race leaders have hit each other. Triple 3 car of Abby Eaton who leads. Frank Pell is up in the second place in the Lamborghini. John Seal in third place. They are all over each other in the midfield. Now did Richard Wells in the car share with Alex Capadia manage to keep going as Frank Pell pulls into the lead. Now has Abby Eaton got damage? I think she may have as a result of that contact. She's losing places. The Lamborghinis pull ahead. They are all over each other in the early stages, very close, bunched up together, this huge field of 35 cars. See that incident again. Abby Eaton went for the inside. Richard Wells didn't know she was there, and the two Pragas touched. Wells spun around. Eaton's got damage as well, I think, because she has dropped back down the order. It's Frank Pell who leads from John Seal. It's the McLaren up into third place of Will Powell. Certainly not the start of the Pragas, running in their own championship wanted here. There's the leading Praga in fourth place. That is the car of Richard Morris, shared with Chippy Bessemile in fourth place. Then it's the Nissan GTR driven by Richard Wheeler. The field already starting to spread itself out. See the class leaders on the right there. Pell leads class 1. Praga's led by Richard Morris, and he is lead number 29. It's the Bon Grimes and Johnny Molem Ferrari leading class 3. Class 2 is being led by Lucky Kira in the Ferrari shared by Ross Wiley. Class 4 by Martin Byford in the Cupra TCR, the EDF Motorsport. You can compare the lap times there on the left of your screen. That is the number 16 Ferrari, that's Rod Grimes. Still leading the way is Frank Pell. 4.2 seconds up last time through. There he is. Let's see what his lead's going to be this time through. There is the McLaren now up into second place. Will Powell. And he's just done the fastest lap of the race. 1:04.070. So he's taken close to a second out of Frank Pell on that last lap. In the Motor1 McLaren. There's John Seal under fire from Richard Morris in the number 29. Richard, the man behind Racing Pride. And there is the number 87, Jem Hepworth in that car at the moment, reigning Britcar Endurance Champion. He'll of course hand that car over to Jimmy Broadbent. There is the 29, that's your Praga class leader in fourth place. He's attacking John Seal in the third place Lamborghini. Pole sitter for this race. Watch that Lamborghini fly when Jamie Stanley climbs aboard. Frank Pell continues to lead the way by 3.2 seconds. Purple sector from Will Powell that time through in the McLaren, so he is pushing to close on Frank Pell for the lead. After that early tangle between Wells and Eaton, the GT3 cars seem to have the legs of the Pragas at the moment. We've got somebody off at Vale there. That's a tangle between the 58, which is Luke Davenport. That's the Ligier, so that was the pace-setting car in qualifying in Class 4 that's gone off. And he's tangled with one of the Cupra TCR cars. Maserati has got a problem there as well of Sasha Kakard. Now that's Vance Kearney, apologies. So he may have been involved there as well. So there's been a tangle in Class 4. Which of the Cupras is that that's gone off? I think it might be George Healer, number 99, that's involved there. They've dropped down the timing screen. Flashing his lights at the back markers. They're ready in back marker traffic. See the Docker in the Golf being lapped there. That's why he's flashing the lights. He knows Will Powell is closing him down. Now we'll try and get a replay of what happened at Vale. Oh, the Ligier spun round and bang into the side of the 99 of George Healer. That's a big impact. See. Here comes the leader, and look at how close Will Powell is now. He's less than half a second behind Frank Pell. He's surely going to take the lead here. The Motor1 with Moorgate's McLaren. This is for the lead. Frank Pell has the lead. He's flashing his lights at the back markers, trying to get around him there. Here's Will Powell. The McLaren 650S as they head up through Farm and Village, down through the Link, onto Beckett's, Chapel, and then onto Hanger Straight. Here they come then, down the straight. Can Will Powell make a move into Stowe? They lap Peter Erceg in the Porsche, and the safety car is coming out. That'll be because of those stranded cars in the gravel at Vale. The safety car is going to be coming out. Completed just over 10 minutes of this 1 hour race. So we're getting ready for a restart here at Silverstone, but are we going to see most of the field peel into the pit lane? We shall see. Getting ready then for the green flag to come out. And we are back underway. It looks as though Frank Pell has come in. So Will Powell assumes the lead in the McLaren ahead of John Seal. There's the Lamborghini in second place. Rod Goodman is third on track ahead of the Nissan of Richard Wheeler. So Frank Pell has come in. Lucky Kera has brought the Ferrari in to hand over to Ross Wiley. Watch that car fly with the former British GT champion on board. The Bridle twins have come in as well. Chris handing over to Ed. Oh, and John Seal diving down the inside to try and lap Peter Erceg in the Porsche there. Battle of the Ferraris. Charlie Hollings taking Bon Grimes. That was for position as well. That's all happening on the restart here at Silverstone. Frank Pell has come in. So your new leader is Will Powell, the Motor1 with Moorgate's McLaren. There's the Cunninghams in their Porsche, passing number 22. That's Richard Avery. It's Porsche racer in the TCR Seat. Will Powell leads the way then. In the McLaren 650S GT3, Frank Pell having come into the pits. There's Seal and Stanley. John Seal on board the Lamborghini. Just over 6 seconds down on Will Powell at the moment. Rod Goodman's Praga in third. He leads the Praga class, of course. There is the race leader, Will Powell. He's got the Nissan behind him, but that car has pitted and is a lap down. But with Danny Harrison now on board, that Nissan is going to fly back up the order. Will Powell staying out as long as he can. He's the quicker of the two drivers. Dave Scaramanga, the ex-Castle Combe saloon car star, is going to take over that car. There is the number 24. That car now driven by Ross Wiley. Waiting for everybody to cycle through their pit stops now, as Will Powell continues to lead. The Nissan coming up on the Albert family Aston Martin. Has that car pitted yet? Yes, it has. So it's now Dale Albert on board that car. The Nissan now being driven by Danny Harrison. There's Frank Pell driving solo, of course. And there is the number 55 Lamborghini back out now. Keep an eye on that car. Jamie Stanley is now on board, and he did a sub 1 minute lap, remember, to set pole position for this race. A couple of the TCR cars battling it out here. That's Ash Woodman, the number 60, the EDF Motorsport car, taken by Hugo Cook in the Audi RS3. '69 with Dave Bennett now on board. Somebody running out wide there, one of the Seats. I think that's the Danny Krivich and Miles Lacey car. We're going to spin up. That is Stuart Lines. Oh, he's not having a good race, is he? Great shame for Stuart, the ex-British touring car man in the Maximum Motorsports Ginetta. And, ooh, that was close. The Bennett Fothergill Porsche nearly collected him there. Was busy battling with the Ferrari of Ross Wiley and didn't quite see him in time. Just avoided the back of that Ginetta. Frank Pell takes Danny Harrison there coming through Beckett's. There is the McLaren. Should have Dave Scaramanga on board now. Placed at Castle Combe in their saloon championship for many years. Jimmy Broadbent passes the Cunningham Porsche. There's a black flag being shown there on the start line. I think it said number 95, which is Stuart Lines. So presumably that means he hasn't come in to serve his stop-go penalty and is therefore now being black flagged. Jack Fabi there chasing down one of the Lamborghinis. That's Jamie Stanley. He's flashing the lights there, the red and white Praga. It's the Team Brit Aston Martin ahead of him with Aaron Morgan now on board, ex-BMW Compact Cup star, racing for Team Brit. I can tell you everybody has now made their stops, and your race leader is the Praga of Vesemile and Morris. Chris Vesemile leads the way in the number 29. Jamie Stanley is in second, has done the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute .930. And the Jack Fabi and Charlie Martin Praga is in third. So the early pit stops for the Pragas, scoring them to the front of the field. So it certainly worked just as the safety car was about to come in. Fourth is the Broadbent Hepworth number 87, with Jimmy Broadbent at the wheel in their Praga. In fifth place is Frank Pell with his Lamborghini. Sixth is Danny Harrison with the Nissan GT3. Seventh, we have got the Wells Capadia Praga with Alex Capadia now at the wheel. In eighth place is the Scaramanga and Powell McLaren. Of course, Will Powell stayed out as long as he could there before putting Dave Scaramanga in that car. Ninth position, we've got the Lucky Kira Ross Wiley Ferrari. In fact, the 77 McLaren and the race leader both listed as making 2 pit stops. I'm not sure why that is. There's still a few issues with our timing, unfortunately. The Grimes-Molan Ferrari is showing in 10th. Class 4 still shown as being led by Day and Foster in the Cupra TCR. The live timing is unfortunately rather intermittent at the moment, so we can only apologise for this confusion. Right, I think the timing is now coming back to life because the leaders have just come across the line. I think Jamie Stanley has just taken the lead there. Yes, there they are. There are the leaders. Stanley has just taken Chris Vesemile, so the 55 Lamborghini is up front. Okay, the timing has, I think, come back to life now. Fingers crossed, he says. And there is your leader, Jamie Stanley in the Lamborghini. Second is Chris Vesemile. Third, it is Jack Fabi in the number 91 Praga. And then we should see Jimmy Broadbent come through, hopefully in 4th position. There are just under 10 minutes of the race to go now. Everybody has made their pit stops. We've lost a few cars during the confusion there. The Bridles are out of the race. The Ferrari of Goddard and Hollings seems to have dropped out. Rod Goodman we've lost as well. Stuart Lyons in the pits in the Ginetta. So 42 laps completed by our leader, Jamie Stanley. There is Jimmy Broadbent. He is in 4th place in the number 87 and 3rd in the Praga class, and that was a bit close there. Danny Harrison has got a Praga on his exhaust pipe. Which one of the Pragas is that? I think that's the treble 3 car. Jimmy Broadbent under fire there from Danny Harrison. Here comes the Nissan. He pulls out as they come onto the hanger straight, and there's the leader coming up behind them in the 55 car, and Harrison's going to go through. That's 5th position for the Nissan, running 2nd in class, and there is our race leader, 55, Jamie Stanley, blitz qualifying, and he has lapped everybody up to 6th position. He's even lapped Frank Pell's Lamborghini now. Been a change for 2nd place as well. Jack Fabi, the young gun, has taken Chippy Vesemile in the battle for 2nd place. Spotted we've got a slow moving Seat as well, the Byford Woodman car, the EDF Motorsport car, that's coming into the pits. Now there is Jack Fabi. He's taken 2nd place in the car shared with Charlie Martin. Just under 6 minutes of this race to go. There is Chippy Vesemile in 3rd place. Fourth behind them is the white Praga of Alex Capadia. Fabi began his circuit racing career in the junior saloon cars a few years ago. He's driven for Tiger sports cars as well in the Open Sports Series, among other things. He's been a works driver for Tiger before joining Praga. It's Charlie Martin, of course, who started that car. Great run by the Pragas here, with Chippy Vesemile in number 29 trying to keep pace. There's 1.5 seconds in it. Now well clear of Capadia 4th. Danny Harrison in the Nissan is 5th, Jimmy Broadbent is 6th, then Frank Pelle is 7th in his Lamborghini, Frank Pell. Kera and Wiley 8th, Grimes and Molim 9th, and the McLaren with Dave Scaramanga on board has dropped down to 10th, having led before the pit stops. There's that slowing Seat with Ashley Woodman on board. The Cupra TCR. Just over 4 minutes to go. 29 car there, fishtailing about through Stowe Corner. Maybe his tyres are going off, Chris Vesemile. Yes, the third place car weaving about there. Is Chris Vesemile running out of fuel? I think he's got a problem there, Chris Vesemile. Let's have a look at his last lap time. It was only a second off second place, so he's dropped to second. The third place car to Jack Fabi. He's dropped more than that now. Yes, that Praga's got a problem. The way he was weaving about there on the Hamilton straight, I wonder if Chris is running out of fuel. That's a great shame. He was leading the race until caught by Jamie Stanley. Coming round to start their final lap now in this opening Britcar Endurance race of the season. Still a few battles going on down the order. Further back behind these two, Danny Harrison, we can see there having a good go at Alex Kapadia in the white Praga. That battle going on for fourth place. There they are into the Beckett's complex as the leader continues to reel through back markers. Now, can Danny Harrison steal fourth place? That is for position between Kapadia and Harrison. Coming through, it should be checkered flag this time for Jamie Stanley. The car started by its owner, John Seal, the Lamborghini Huracan GT3, run by JMH Automotive. Coming up towards Club Corner for the final time. Is it going to be checkered flag this time? There is the checkered flag, and the JMH Automotive Lamborghini is our first winner in Britcar Endurance Championship 2021. Congratulations to John Seal and Jamie Stanley. They take the victory. 51 laps completed in 1 hour, 1.219 seconds. Second place goes to Jack Fabi, sharing with Charlie Martin in the Praga. That's the Powerhouse by Praga machine. They win the Praga category. Congratulations to them. We'll take a look at the results then of our first Britcar Endurance Championship race of the day. They've got another race later on, of course. John Seal and Jamie Stanley, the winners in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Second and first of the Pragas, Jack Fabi and Charlie Martin. Chris Vesemile and Richard Morris taking third place. Fourth going to Wells and Kapadia in their Praga. Then fifth to Richard Wheeler and Danny Harrison, the Nissan GT3. Sixth going to Jimmy Broadbent and Jem Hepworth, Jim Jem in the Praga. Seventh to Frank Pell in the Lamborghini. Class win for Kera and Wiley in eighth in their Ferrari. Likewise for Grimes and Molam in their Ferrari in ninth. Scaramanga and Powell in the McLaren take 10th place. And a class winning 11th for Alex Day and Will Foster in their Cupra, ahead of Hugo Cook and Sasha Kakard in the Audi TCR. The Cunninghams, after a spin, finished 13th, ahead of Fothergill and Bennett in their Porsche, and the Handslip and Frost Porsche completing the top 15. 16th place into Peter Erscheg in his Porsche. The Krivich and Lacey Seat was next home, ahead of Tim Docker. Team Brits were next in 19th place with the Aston Martin, ahead of Chris Murphy's new car in 20th. The Wells and Stewart BMW, the Ferrari of Jones and Davies, initially one of the Class 2 pace setters, but spun down the order. Then Hull and Avery, the slowing Woodman and Byford Seat did make the finish. Then the Alberts, they pulled up right at the end, we saw. Then the Much and Eaton Praga, after its problems early on. The Bridals and the rest of them were non-finishers. Let's head down to Parc Fermé with Steve Jameson.
Yeah, down here in Parc Fermé with the winning duo, lads. That was some drive. It was an amazing performance from not just the car but from you, Per, as well. Sum up your feelings after that one.
It's great, you know. It's obviously very busy out there trying to find a way through traffic, but you know, John did a great job at the start and gave me just an easy crack at it towards the end. That's to make a bit of a time against some of the Pragas. I think they got a slightly better timing of the safety car window, but no, the car was great. Obviously John did mega, and obviously JMH are always on form, so it was a good day.
And what does it mean to you guys to be back here racing? It seems like the longest winter ever. What does it mean to you to be back here racing? The first weekend, sun shining at Silverstone, and you got a great win.
It's mega, obviously last year I was meant to do a lot more racing and ended up doing one race. So to start this early in the year, it's a bonus for me, and I'm glad that John's asked me to come along and join him again this year.
And John, we hand it over to you. An amazing drive.
Thank you.
Huge congratulations. What does this trophy mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. It's really good to come back to Silverstone. It's good to be back in Britcar. It's a super challenge, and driving with Jamie is brilliant. And to be fair, the team JMH did a wonderful job. Car was good. It just couldn't be better.
It seems to be one of the best grids we've ever seen at Britcar. It's been absolutely remarkable to see the sheer wealth of motoring talent on display. What's that like to be a part of and then ultimately come out on top of?
It's fantastic, really. There was a lot of cars out there. Once we caught the back markers, it became quite difficult, but everyone was very good. The back markers were aware of you coming, and it all couldn't have gone better.
Huge congratulations, gents.
Thank you very much.
Well, here with our Praga winners, guys. A huge congratulations. Talk us through that race. It was hectic out there. It was wild at times, but you got out on top in the end.
I think the best person to speak to about the start of the race is Charlie. She was the one who was in the car, and she did a mega job. I mean, the whole kind of plan was to just get through the first corner, well, the first few corners tidy. Obviously, some people didn't, but yeah, I mean, a mega stint from Charlie to perform and essentially put us in the window that we wanted to be in. We kind of planned that there was going to be a safety car. We knew about it, it was going to happen, and then obviously, unfortunately, it happened, but in a sense, it was good. And then a bit of stroke of genius from the strategy team. And yeah, what a result. I mean, it was a hard 40 minutes for me in the car. We had a little issue about halfway through my stint, which meant the car was pretty hard to drive, and I've never been so tired in my life, I don't think. But on a personal note, I'd like to thank Oakwood, Cooperage and PRS who have just joined on board with me this year. And yeah, I mean, the best person to speak to about the rest of it is Charlie. She was in the car.
They call it endurance racing for a reason. Charlie, it was a crazy start, as Joe mentioned. What was that like to be a part of? How did you find navigating that?
Yeah, I mean, like everyone, being on the second row of the grid at the beginning, it was just a bit, go. The first few corners, I could see that Abby and Richard were, running pretty close together. Saw a bit of a collision happen up ahead, but I was just focused on spotting a gap and driving through it. So just got my head down and tried to pull out a gap to the cars behind, and hand the car over to Jack in the best position I could. So yeah, I was happy to get it to Jack in P3, and yeah, as he said, good call really with the strategy that we managed to make use of the safety car period, and it just really played into our hands. So I think we both performed pretty well.
Yeah, perfect strategy for the race. All those long winter months of planning and tinkering have all paid off. What was it like to be back out there after what feels like the longest winter ever?
It's felt phenomenal. I mean, driving this car, and especially on this track this weekend with the sunshine and everything, it's a really, really magical feeling. And to top it off with a race win for the first race of the season, yeah, just couldn't be happier right now.
Well, I think it's about time for you guys to collect your trophies. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well, two fantastic performances from those pairs. What magnificent wins, and clearly very, very pleased with their performances as well. They should be. Race 1 then is in the books here at Silverstone. We've still got plenty more to come on the show though. Race 2 is coming next. Well, race 1 is in the books here at Silverstone in the Britcar Endurance, but as you can see behind me, furious preparations already well in place for race number 2. Race 1 has caused its damage, it's caused its fair share of celebration as well. Race 2 though is in the offing. Let's go right now to Dave Goddard.
Rolling start, 1 hour of racing. The pit window opens after 20 minutes. Now, we said we'd tell you the success penalties. We'll do that as they head round on their rolling lap. If you win your class, you get a 15-second additional penalty at your pit stop. Second in your class, you get 10 seconds. Third in class, 5 seconds in the second race of the day. Who's got what then? Well, in class 1, John Seal and Jamie Stanley have a 15-second success penalty, the pole sitters. Richard Wheeler and Danny Harrison have 10 seconds, and Frank Pell has 5 seconds in the Lamborghini. In the Praga Championship, Jack Fabi and Charlie Martin have 15 seconds. Chippy Vesemile and Richard Morris have 10 seconds. Richard Wells and Alex Kapadia have 5 seconds. In Class 2, there are only 2 runners, so Lucky Kera and Ross Wiley will have to serve a 15-second success penalty. Michael Jones and Craig Davies, 10 seconds. In Class 3, 15 seconds goes to Bon Grimes and Johnny Molem, 10 seconds to the Cunningham Porsche, Fothergill and Bennett Porsche as 5 seconds, and in Class 4, 15 seconds to Alex Day and Will Foster's Seat. The Audi of Cook and Caccard will get 10 seconds, and 5 seconds goes to Nathan Hanslip and Lee Frost in their Porsche. Those are your success penalties at the pit stops. So the John Seal, Jamie Stanley Lamborghini in pole position. Jack Fabi and Charlie Martins Praga alongside. Wait for those red lights to go out as they form up 2 by 2 down towards the start line. Wait for the power to come on. And away they go. Good start by the Praga from the second row of the grid there on the outside. That was Richard Wells' car, and it looks like that car has taken the lead around the outside of everybody. Got a flying start from the second row of the grid. Now let's hope they all make it through the complex this time. It's the Wells Kapadia car that has got the lead, and the Nissan is up into second place. We've lost a couple of cars. There's a couple of cars got off at the back there coming out of Farm. 2 or 3 cars went up. Oh my goodness me. Chaos at the back. Stuart Lyons involved. Who's that in the middle there? That's looked possibly like the Chris Goddard, Charlie Hollings Ferrari that was involved in that as well, the 144. The Lamborghini there, that'll be John Seal on board. He's dropped back a bit in the 55. So Jamie Stanley will take over later on. Quite a lot of cars with damage. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a stoppage or a safety car here, with several cars off up at Farm Corner. Frank Pell gets his Lamborghini past the similar machine of John Seal there. A bit of a sort out among the Pragas. It's the Richard Wells car that leads the way. Richard Wheeler in the Nissan GTR in second place. Chippy Vesemile and Richard Morris's car is in third place. Let's try and see what happened at the start. Watch the background. Tim Docker's one of the cars going off on the outside, and yes, it is the blue Ferrari. Spin back across and wallop straight into the side. That's a big accident. Straight into the side of Stuart Lyons in the Ginetta. Let's hope he's okay. Yeah, the safety car is out, not surprisingly. Look at the mess at the complex. So we are going to go racing again this time. Well done, marshals and recovery crews. Thanks to them for their services. As we're about to go racing once again, waiting for the green flag as they come through towards the end of the lap. With just over 41 minutes on the clock, so the pit window is going to open next time around. We're back underway and racing here at Silverstone with the Britcar Endurance Championship, and a slow Praga down the straight there. Which one is that? Praga in trouble. Is that the Vesemile and Morris car? We saw them have problems towards the end of race 1. I think that car's in trouble again. Wells and Kapadia aren't in trouble though. They're leading the way ahead of the Wheeler, Harrison, Nissan. It's the Lamborghini up into third. It is the Richard Morris, Chippy Vesemile car that's slowed up there. So Frank Pell has gone up into third place. The pit window opens in 30 seconds time. So will it be... I think they'll all pass the pit entrance before the pit window opens this time through. There is the Marcus Fothergill, Dave Bennett Porsche. Both of them been racing Porsches for many, many years, as have the Cunningham family there, ahead of Jack Fabi and Charlie Martin. They've got a bit of a slow restart. Got back a couple of places. It's Pell up to third, then Seal and Stanley fourth. Broadbent and Hepworth are fifth, as Frank Pell takes Richard Wheeler for second place going into Abbey. The pit window has just opened. Who are going to be the first takers next time around? See a bit of dust being kicked up there. It's been put down on the fluid from that pile-up at the start of the race. Frank Pell up into second place then in his menacing grey Lamborghini Huracan. There's John Seal's version just ahead of the Broadbent Hepworth car. Fabi and Martin are next, then the Cunninghams, and then the sole Ferrari remaining in this race, which is the Bonamy Grimes Johnny Molem car. As for whatever reason, Lucky Kera and Ross Wiley did not take the start. Well, this time around, yes, most of the leaders have headed for the pits. The 111 Praga, the Seal and Stanley Lamborghini, the Wheeler, Harris and Nissan GTR have all pitted. That should put Frank Pell into the lead of the race. Yes, there he is. Pell has stayed out in second place. Should be the Broadbent Hepworth car. Yes, the gold Praga. Fabi and Charlie Martin car is there in third place. So the top three at the end of that lap all coming in, with Frank Pell assuming the lead. Oh, there's contact coming through Beckett's. Got a glimpse of there. That was a Praga and a Porsche making contact. Well, they'll come through in just a moment. There's the battle for second place now, the two Pragas together. It's the Porsche of the Cunninghams in fourth position. This time through there is Frank Pell, your race leader, in the Lamborghini Huracan. The other one has pitted, of course. Here's the Jack Fabi Charlie Martin car attacking up the inside. Broadbent and Hepworth, the 87, defending. Cunningham's fourth, then it's the Grimes Molem Ferrari. Then Scaramanga and Powell in the McLaren. I think it's Dave Scaramanga on board that car at the moment. There's a replay of incident from further back. It was Rod Goodman and the Porsche of Fothergill and Bennett, and contact there, and Rod Goodman spun around. Now, I saw those two make a bit of contact up at Beckett's. They kept going, and then contact again at Stowe Corner. It looks like they managed to keep it going. Hopefully not too much damage to those cars. There's the number 44 Seat, the Alex Day Will Foster Cupra, winners of Class 4 earlier on. Bit of dust again being kicked up there. Remember, some cars have to serve pit stop penalties this time. John Seal and Jamie Stanley would have had to serve an extra 15 seconds. They're now back out on track. The Scaramanga Powell McLaren is in. Rod Goodman has pitted his Praga as well. Failed to finish race one, of course. Seal and Stanley with Wells and Capadia in their Praga. They've already made their stops. They're currently well down the order, but we've only had a few stoppers so far. About 7 or 8 cars have made their stops in the first couple of laps of the pit window being open. Frank Pell continues to lead. He's got the other Lamborghini. That'll be Jamie Stanley on board, because look at the pace of it there down the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. He'll try and intimidate Frank Pell here, even though he's a lap down in the Lamborghini. He'll try and make a move into the complex here. The Albert Aston Martin gets out of the way. Praga's fighting out amongst themselves behind. Still the Broadbent and Hepworth car in second place. I think that's Jem Hepworth on board that car at the moment. There it is, just ahead of the Jack Fabi Charlie Martin car. It's the Cunninghams in fourth place. They're still relatively close for second, third and fourth. Frank Pell leads by just over 6 seconds from Broadbent and Hepworth, and in fact the Fabi and Martin car gets through there into Stowe, up into second place in the lead of the Praga category. Fastest lap of the race is now with Jamie Stanley. Watch for that Lambo moving back up the order. They've made their pit stop. They had to serve the penalty of 15 seconds because they won the first race, of course. Let's see them try and get back up the order. Pell leads. Broadbent and Hepworth second, the Cunninghams in their Porsche third, leading Class 3, then Grimes and Molem. The Bridles are fifth in the number 84 Praga, the VR Motorsport car. Fothergill and Bennett sixth in their Porsche. We saw that involving a bit of a scrape for the Praga earlier on, but it's still sixth. They've all yet to stop. The leaders of Class 4 have just come in as well, Nathan Hanslip and Lee Frost. Lee, the Porsche Carrera Cup racer, among other things, the Porsche Cayman GT4. Lead gap is just under 10 seconds for Pell over Broadbent and Hepworth. Look at this, Will Powell kind of intimidates Frank Pell there. Powell is a lap down because the McLaren has made it stop. Well, Pell hasn't. I think Pell might be coming in this time, actually. He's pulled to one side there. Yes, I think Frank Pell, is he heading for the pit lane? Yes, he is. So Frank Pell, the race leader, comes in, and that will hand the number 87 of Broadbent and Hepworth. Unless they come in this time as well, they will take the lead in the Praga. No, Broadbent and Hepworth have come in as well. They've just come into the pits. So who will take the lead then? Cunningham Porsche's come in as well, so I think it's going to be the Bridles that take the lead. Number 84, the VR Motorsports Praga that takes the lead. Ahead of Bon Grimes and Johnny Molen. They've yet to stop. So the majority of the field is now stopped. New fastest lap by Jamie Stanley in the 55 Lamborghini, 1 minute, 0.810. There goes Will Powell in the McLaren. There is the Bon Grimes Johnny Molen Ferrari in the pit lane. Fuel going in. Can't put the driver in until the car has been refueled, of course, safety reasons. So the only car that has yet to stop are Chris and Ed Bridle, number 84, failed to finish race 1 in their Praga. So they're leading, but they haven't pitted yet, so their demise from the top of the classification is inevitable. There's a fight between Powell and Capadia, and that was for position. Will Powell goes through and up into 8th position. It looks to me as though it's going to be the 55 Lamborghini that inherits the lead when everything has cycled through. Jamie Stanley, despite the pit penalty, I think has done enough. He's done another fastest lap of the race, 1 minute, 0.485. The Much and Eaton 333 is behind them. There is Frank Pell. He's behind the Broadbent Hepworth car. This is for position. So the Bridles are leading, but their demise at the front of the field will be inevitable when they pit. Well, there is the Lamborghini. Jamie Stanley. Gordy Much and Abby Eaton's Praga is in 2nd place. There's about just under 10 seconds between them. So they will take the lead. There is the Chris Goddard and Charlie Hollins Ferrari. Look at the state of that. It's our leading Praga. Race 1 winners in 3rd in that category, Fabi and Martin. So just under 11 minutes of the race to go. Coming up on the team, Britt Aston Martin. Thankfully, since the first lap incident, I think there's only been one other retirement so far. That being the Vesemale and Morris Praga. That pulled into the pits a few laps ago. So we've got 22 cars running. We'll await news on the Fothergill Bennett Porsche as well, because we saw that pull in as well with what looked like a blown tyre. .4 seconds the lead gap. Dominance from Jamie Stanley in the JMH Automotive Lamborghini. There is the 87, the Jimmy Broadbent Gem Hepworth car. Running in 8th place. Porsche is still running. There's the Fothergill Bennett car. So thankfully not too much damage from that incident earlier on. Still pressing on. Here is our leader, Jamie Stanley, taking over from John Seal. It's been as you were from race one, really. Stanley dominant in the Lamborghini. Leads Class 1 ahead of Wheeler Harrison, Nissan GT3, Danny Harrison on board. Will Powell in the McLaren third in class ahead of Frank Pelle. Wells and Capadia having a good scrap, and a big lock up there for the Fothergill Bennett Porsche. Change there for third overall because Capadia has just got past Harrison. We saw there. Good battle ahead of them as well, that's for position as well. Trundley and Morgan Aston Martin gets past Peter Erteg. They're battling over 14th place and second in Class 4 as well, behind the Cook and Caccard Audi. 6 minutes remain here at Silverstone. There's the Nissan, down to 4th overall. Chasing the Praga, trying to get him back again. So there's good scraps everywhere you look, as befits Britcar racing. There's the Class 4 leader, the Audi, catching the Matty Evans, Kevin Clark BMW 1M. It's for position, but they are in different classes, 12th and 13th. Matty Evans racing BMWs for several years now. This car you'll see on the overrun shoots quite a bit of flame out of the back, more like a DTM race car with that giant wing. Will Powell is now up to 5th. He's got ahead of the Capadia Praga. It's going to be a second win of the day for the Lamborghini of JMH Automotive. There's the second place car, the Much and Eaton Praga. 36 seconds down on our race leader, but clear of the other Pragas. They're going to take the class victory in the Praga Championship. It's looking good for the Nissan in third. Fourth, not yet resolved because Will Powell is catching that radical of Jack Fabi and Charlie Martin. That's Praga, I should say. Will Powell has got the BMW ahead of him there, the Evans-Clark machine. Closing up on the Praga of Jack Fabi, Charlie Martin, trying to take 4th place. It's the main battle on track at the moment. Capadia 6th in his Praga. The Alberts family Aston behind Porsche of Fothergill and Bennett. The Alberts running at the tail of the field. They started the race a few laps late after a problem. Second win of the day for JMH Automotive in the 55 Lamborghini Huracan GT3. There's Frank Pell with his Lamborghini running in 7th place. Another lock-up from the Porsche as the Broadbent Hepworth car goes past. Clock has counted down to 0, so it'll be checkered flag this time by for the number 55 Lamborghini. And there is the checkered flag. Jamie Stanley takes his second win, shared with John Seal. 2 out of 2 for JMH Automotive. Congratulations to them, a double on the first weekend of Britcar Endurance 2021. Looks like the only other car on the lead lap is going to be the Praga Championship winner, number 333, Gordy Much, Abby Eaton. 3 Lions Praga, and Richard Wheeler and Danny Harrison in the Fox Transport Nissan GTR will take 3rd place. And the provisional results as follows: John Seal and Jamie Stanley, the winners, completing 47 laps in the hour. Only one car on the lead lap with them, Gordy Much and Abby Eaton, they win the Praga category. Richard Wheeler and Danny Harrison 3rd in the Nissan. Jack Fabi and Charlie Martin 4th, then Scaramanga and Powell taking 5th ahead of Wells and Capadia. Frank Pell 7th in his Lamborghini. Broadbent and Hepworth 8th. Then Ron Goodman was 9th. Bon Grimes and Johnny Molam a class winning 10th. The Bridles 11th. Evans and Clark in the BMW from the back of the grid take 12th. And class 4 won by the Cook Caccard Audi in 13th. Ahead of Trundley and Morgan, the team Brit Aston Martin. Peter Ersig's Porsche was 15th. The Cunninghams dropping to 16th at the end after late dramas. Then Hull and Avery in their Seat, Day and Foster 18th, Hanslip and Frost in their Porsche down in 19th, Chris Murphy completing the top 20, and the other 2 finishers, Fothergill and Bennett, after problems in their Porsche, and the Alberts late starters in that one in their Aston Martin, the rest of the field failing to make the finish.
Jamie, John, another big, huge congratulations. That was another stunning drive from the pair of you. A perfect day.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to get a double win.
And just some of your emotions, because it feels like today just couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, we were a lot more lucky with the timing of the safety car on that one. Obviously, John didn't get much of a drive, unfortunately, but I did what I could at the end and just kept my head down and kept pushing and pushing and pushing to make sure we could get ahead of the Pragas. Obviously, I know Gordy and the other one was quite close, so I needed to get away from him, because if he got a sniff at it, he wouldn't back down. He's like a dog with a bone.
And talk to me a little bit about this car behind you, because it seems to be really, really special.
Yes, it does. It's a supercar. It's lovely. Team's prepared it very, very well, and we're just getting the hang of it now after a couple of years. So we hope
it's
we can do better.
Scary thought, John.
Exactly. No, it's good. Been a great day. Couldn't have been better.
And just on a personal level, how nice to be back after such a long time.
Yes.
Back with 2 wins, car feeling better than ever, sun shining at Silverstone.
Fantastic. Couldn't be better. It was wonderful.
You've ended it perfectly. Congratulations, gents. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, huge congratulations. What a drive. The top of the Pragas at the end of a super first day back at Silverstone. How do you feel?
Yeah, like highs and lows of motorsport. Race 1 had an unlucky incident with turn 3 on the first lap, but we bounced back. You know, Abby put in an awesome first stint to get through all that traffic at the start, you know, so to win the race on the back of the grid, it's just awesome.
It was a stunning drive, guys. You had the hard job at the start, getting it away. Talk us through that start, because it was such a weird start to the race, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I only got one lap at the start of the race, so the main thing I was trying to do is to cut through the pack as safely as possibly. You know, managed to get quite a few positions off the line, and then obviously the chaos happened behind us. So from then on, I just needed to weave and keep as much temperature in those tyres as possible. So when this dude got in the car, he was able to bring it home in P1. So yeah, you know, we're a strong pairing together. Bit of bad luck in race 1, so you know, hopefully that's the end of our bad luck, and we'll continue with P1 for the rest of the season.
And talk us through your emotions when you're watching him pull it home. Are you more nervous watching rather than driving?
No, I've got all faith in Gordy. You know, he's super, super rapid. There are perhaps moments where I'm like, hope he plays it safe, but he's certainly learning, learning very, very quickly. So I have all confidence in him.
And for you, mate, what a feeling to bring it home.
Yeah, I mean, testing, you know, was positive. So the aim always was to come out in the top 7 of the podium. So I think, you know, we were both a little bit disappointed after race 1, but you know, we picked ourselves back up and told ourselves, well, we've got another race to go and get the win. It was a tough job, but yeah, thanks to the guys at VR Motorsport, they done an awesome job. Thanks to Abby, you know, her experience paid off in that race at the start. So yeah, couldn't be happier.
Well, guys, congratulations. It is time for one more thing. That trophy down there, it is one for each of you. Enjoy the win. Well, the sun sets on a splendid day at Silverstone. The Britcar here has given us so much entertainment today. 2 phenomenal endurance races, both of them were won by superb drivers. A fantastic day of entertainment. We really hope you've enjoyed the coverage, and we cannot wait to do it all again very, very soon. Do join us then. Now though, it's goodbye.